Oh man, MULTICHAIN up 125% is Fantom, set for a huge move to the upside. As you can see here, multi-token was the one that was originally, the chain was hacked with millions and millions of dollars taken away in Fantom ecosystem. Hugely affected. Zhao Jun, the CEO, arrested in China apparently. Has some news been found out? You can see the price moving here, 120% with an insane candlestick. Clearly, something is going on here, but what is the chance that this feeds through into Fantom? You can see Fantom is the only real token here up. It's up about 1% here on the day, despite Bitcoin being down 0.5%. Is there something going on? Is there some news which we don't know about? You can see here Wu Blockchain tweets, according to CoinMarketCap, multi-chain token experienced a sudden increase tonight with an increase 125% in the past 24 hours. Previously, multi-chain CEO Zhao Jun was taken away from his home by the Chinese police. The multi-signature wallet funds were transferred. Now remember, to give you guys context, loads of people were saying this is really bad news for Fantom, right? Fantom got hacked, and I kept making updates. We even interviewed Michael Kong and we said, look, it wasn't Fantom that got hacked. Yes, it was a bridge vulnerability. Yes, there was learnings that took place. But if they could somehow get the funds back, because remember, Michael Kong, the CEO of Fantom, continued to assert in our podcast as well that it doesn't seem to match the criteria of a hack. So it's very interesting now that we're seeing a crazy pump. What is it that people know, insiders at MULTICHAIN know here, that this price is moving heavily to the upside? Is there a clue that the funds can be recovered? Is there now an update that something is going on? Now, first and foremost, we have to exercise huge caution here right now, guys. This could be pump and dump dynamics. This could just be some insider trading. What we know, and the facts that we know, which we've managed to kind of grasp over this period of time, is that the funds were seized, right? It was seized by police. And if that is the case, and if the community can make the purposeful effort to say, look, this is our funds, this is not Zhao Jun's funds, we are overseas foreigners who are invested in this protocol, we need those funds back, then that could lead to the resurgence in the multi-chain price, and also obviously the redemption arc for Fantom as well. But right now, guys, you've got to take this as speculation. I certainly wouldn't be aping into any positions right now based off of this news, but it is crazy volatility seeing this move here, taking multi-chain from lows of $1.25 or 1.025, sorry, all the way to current price sitting at 2.35. Now, a few other updates in the Fantom ecosystem. We also know that they started off their first ever vault round, so they're going to be giving away 750,000 Fantom to eligible projects. That's also good to see them finally following through with that. We also had the update a couple of days ago that Simone Pompose, the CMO of Fantom, will be stepping back. Remember, that might not have come as a complete surprise for those you watching. We did interview Michael Kong, who did say he was looking at new marketing personnel at the time, so maybe this was a tactical strategic move, because obviously one of the complaints Fantom does have is their lack of marketing, and we've spoken about this for a good couple of years now. I've interviewed Michael Kong a couple of times, even interviewed Simone Pompose as well. You spoke earlier about the introduction of a new marketing personnel within the team. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, so we've been working with a couple of recruiters for the past few months now, and Andre and I have interviewed a lot of different candidates, and these are candidates that we specifically asked for not to have prior crypto experience or not to have much knowledge about the blockchain industry, at least to begin with, right?
What credentials are you looking for? Sorry to interrupt, Michael.
Yeah. So it sounds a bit counterintuitive. It's like, well, wait a second. This is a job, this is a job related, to blockchain marketing, that sort of thing. Why do you want to hire someone who specifically doesn't have that experience? So the reason why is because we already have a lot of people inside the foundation that have been living and breathing the blockchain industry and have been living in the space, and to some extent we have kind of our opinions about certain things. What we want to do is we want to have someone else without a lot of outside experience to come in and kind of tell us from their perspective, how they think our brand is perceived as, and how they think that blockchain brands are perceived as, and to help us work with it, right? And so we want to hire someone with that a very different knowledge set to what we have at the moment, right? So some of the people that we've talked to are candidates that have worked in senior marketing or chief marketing roles, in entertainment industry, in gaming industry, in the technology industry, and we want to have their experience that we don't have in the team as a whole to come in and work with us to combine our experiences together, right? So there's one candidate that I think we're very close to hiring. He'll be able to join us maybe in a couple of months or so, and he's someone that has a lot of experience in the entertainment industry, a lot of experience marketing for gaming, kind of like turning brands around and that sort of thing. And he has really gone up to speed since I've talked to him about, understanding more about Fantom and the blockchain industry. And it's really just him, going out there and just like learning himself, right? Which is very good. It's a very good sign of, self-learning and that sort of thing, using his own initiative. And we use a recruiter because your recruiter is able to validate the background, right? Is able to do like a whole bunch of like, checking, getting a whole bunch of references to make sure that their background really is as they say it is. And so we are very confident that his background is real. He seems to communicate very well. He has a lot of ideas, and I think the right background for us to really rejig our marketing, because I think one of the weak points for Fantom, as was mentioned before, is that, we haven't really been able to take advantage of, marketing the technology that we have at the moment, marketing like, the Fantom ecosystem and the benefits of the Fantom ecosystem and why we are different from the other chains that are out there. And so what this new marketing guy will help us really work on that branding, because to be perfectly honest, I don't have the solutions or ideas in my head, nor does Andre, nor I think the rest.
Nor should you, right? Because you guys should be focused on the tech, rightly so, and the rest other parts of the business. But I guess it's interesting because there's a lot of parallels with, Algorand. I hate to say it, but you talk about Algorand, and they faced a lot of marketing challenges as well. They went outfield, they looked at TradFi, they brought in somebody, ex-JP Morgan, TradFi, Stacey Warden. And you look at the parallels, and obviously now they're struggling. You saw what they're doing lately in terms of their stake and their validators. But this is a piece of the puzzle that has to be figured out, right? And it's got to be just as much a priority as the tech platform. Is that how it's being treated internally?
Yeah, you're exactly right, because like ultimately, like, Fantom Foundation, like obviously we work on a lot of technology, right? But the entire purpose of the Fantom Foundation is to grow and develop the Fantom ecosystem, right? And so what does that entail? Obviously it entails technology, right? Because, without technology, you have no platform anyway. But it's not just technology, right? It's about launching the platform, so you have kind of like your platform or your product, right? And then getting users to use that technology and to understand the benefits of why they want to use that technology or what they want to deploy on the platform, right? And so, it's kind of like BD/marketing plus tech combined is what we really need to focus on. Is really those two broad categories, in my opinion. So on the tech side, I think we've done a pretty good job, if I may say so. I think the results of the chain, not really having issues, kind of speaks for itself. We've hired a lot of really smart people on the technology side that have like really specialized knowledge in consensus, in virtual machines and compilers. Like for example, like Bernard Schultz is a full professor at the University of Sydney, and his entire background for the past 20 or 30 years has specifically been on virtual machines, on programming languages, storage systems, and that sort of thing. And so he's bringing his very specialized knowledge to solve these very specialized technical problems.
Yep.
On the marketing side, it's about like, okay, how do we take all this technology and say to people, okay, this technology really does matter for you as the end user, because you're able to run apps, dApps a lot more efficiently, because you're able to handle a lot more users, because the user experience in terms of time to confirm transactions is a lot less, right?
Yep.
And because it's a lot easier to run servers and that sort of thing. So that's what we really need to communicate to people. And I think that's like the challenge for us with Fantom. I think part of it is also because Andre and myself, we don't have a marketing background. I don't have any like formal experience in marketing. I never worked in a marketing role. We all just kind of have tech backgrounds. And so we always like have viewed things in terms of tech and just thinking like, oh, tech is just what matters. Do the tech, everything else will just fall into line automatically. And I think that's proven not necessarily to be true.
I mean, if tech itself mattered, Ethereum wouldn't be the biggest layer one, would they? I mean, we know, and that's the reality. It's got to balance with the use cases, and it's got to balance with people using it, which is why Solana continues to do well, because people are still, they've used it. They've onboarded and they've used it, and they've had a gateway through to using the ecosystem. I think that's what needs to be pushed for the Fantom ecosystem. But this was one of the areas which the whole community says, is being lacked, and they're right. They're right for it. They've got a great product, great tech, but if people don't know about it in a bull run, then that's a problem, right? Because you can have the best product in the world, You can have the best iPhone. If you cannot market it such that people know it exists, it's all pointless. But right now, what Fantom faces right now is a redemption arc, because whether we believe the blame lies with Fantom or not is not the point. It's the public perception. And this whole multi-chain saga clearly was a multi-chain specific issue. But Fantom got tarnished with that brush, partially because they were the most effective ecosystem from a percentage perspective, right? So this redemption will equally allow it to move to the upside, because if these funds can be recovered, Fantom will come across in a very good light, not only for resolving the issue, getting the funds back, proving there was no pump and dump, proving the integrity of their team and their ability to be battle tested and hardened and continue to work through. It will play in their favor. And this is why this is such an important story. If they can get those funds released, it could be a huge coup for the Fantom team. Now, of course, I don't think it's going to be as sorted as quickly as that. But something seems to be going on, right? There seems to be some data going on. Now, we know when you start getting into dealing with the police in a territory like China, you need time. It's not going to happen over a couple of weeks. So I already earmarked in my head, this will take some time and even be cutting it fine to the Bitcoin halving, I was thinking in my head. But if they've managed to find out where the funds are, how the funds are, even if they don't get it back to the users just yet, but they know they've got control of the assets, that's a huge positive step, and that could allow the excitement to come back here on Fantom just in time for the bull run. Now, jumping over to Fantom just to do a quick bit of TA, because I know you guys love the TA. Don't forget, guys, if you want to buy any of these cryptos, you can do so at Ijaz.uk/Bybit Summer. That specific link is going to give you $25 for free when you deposit $100 of any cryptos. You can deposit $100 of Fantom, and they're going to give you that 25 straight away for you to play with. So here on Fantom, daily chart, hugely below our EMA ribbon, right? Nice. It's been controlling us here to the downside for a very long time. Now, of course, Bitcoin's struggling as well. Bitcoin's far more extended than this away from its EMA ribbon. We also then want to look at the weekly EMA ribbon, and this is where things are painful, right? We are hugely retraced from our weekly EMA ribbon, and the question is, when are we going to be able to get a move into our EMA ribbon? Can we get a move at least into kind of, this 29, 30 territory just to test it, instead of just continuing to bleed here to the downside? Now, one positive with everything that's going on here is we still haven't touched the lows here of November 2022. Right, we've not even got into that period before the Christmas period last year where we fell as low as 16 cents. So it's been holding up pretty well. I mean, on this weekly candlestick here, the low was 17.8, but other than that, it's been holding fairly resilient. But the reality is, when you're looking at technical analysis for a smaller cap project, something like a Fantom, you're not doing so because you care about the TA right now. You're doing so because you think in the bull market it's going to be a superior platform which people will flock to. Every altcoin right now is retraced. If it's 91 or 94% retraced, who really cares? It's all about how it performs in the bull market. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this update. If you like this type of update, smash the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Go watch my Bitcoin video from earlier today, and I'll see you in the next one.